Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, July 11, 2017. If you want to follow us on Twitter, please go to CATEX TV. Quietly, a bit of a disaster is unfolding in British Columbia. Wildfires there in Canada have forced lumber mills to shut and are now edging closer to a Kinder Morgan oil pipeline. Hot and dry weather is sparking blazes across huge parts of Western Canada and the United States. The largest North American producer of strand board, called Norbord Inc., announced yesterday it has suspended production at its mill at 100 Mile House in central British Columbia. West Fraser Timber Company has also shut down 3 of its locations in British Columbia. British Columbia has declared its first state of emergency in 14 years. 200 active fires are burning in the province. More than 100,000 people have been evacuated from the Pacific Coast province. The Kinder Morgan pipeline carries about 300,000 barrels of crude oil every day, and it's being monitored closely. The fire is in the area. Kinder Morgan said that it's taking preventive measures to ensure the safety of the pipeline. Of course, this all brings to mind the massive wildfires in Alberta, Canada last year. New Zealand was struck by a powerful 6.6 magnitude earthquake. It occurred at 8 a.m. local time. Fortunately, the earthquake occurred south of the South Island. It did not do any damage or cause any injuries, nor was there a tsunami alert. Last evening, there was an incident at the Washington, D.C. Air Traffic Control Center, which is out in Leesburg, Virginia, to the west of Washington, D.C. Apparently, an incident occurred where some sort of smoke was found in the air conditioning system and created a smell or an odor in the FAA control room. The Washington Center in Leesburg is one of the busiest spots in the U.S. air traffic control system. It covers flights in Delaware, Maryland, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Virginia, and New Jersey. If you're flying up and down the East Coast, you go through air traffic space controlled by the Leesburg Center. All 3 Washington, D.C. airports were subject to a ground stop that lasted about 2.5 hours, starting at about 6 p.m. A Chinese official with a leading role in China's campaign against corruption is reportedly the frontrunner to head the country's insurance regulator. The China Insurance Regulatory Commission, or CIRC, apparently may soon be taken over by a gentleman named Yang Zhichao, who is currently the Secretary General of China's anti-corruption body, which is appropriately named the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection. Yang had previously been a vice mayor of Beijing from 2008 to 2013. Since taking office in 2013, Chinese President Xi Jinping has led an anti-corruption drive that has seen hundreds of officials jailed. Just last month, the chairman of Anbang Insurance was reportedly detained, supposedly because of personal reasons. The speculation is rife that it's because of corruption. A U.S. military KC-130 air refueling tanker, a 4-engine propeller plane, crashed in a soybean field in rural Mississippi last night, killing all 16 servicemen on board. The plane had emanated from the Marine Corps Air Station at Cherry Point, North Carolina. At over $5 billion, Texas homeowner hail losses in 2016 have smashed previous records for the highest annual losses ever recorded. This is according to data released by the Texas Department of Insurance. Mark Hanna, a spokesman for the Insurance Council of Texas, said last year's hailstorms were relentless. We had 45 days of hailstorms occurring somewhere in Texas during the months of April and May. According to Hanna, damage from tornadoes and hailstorms this year has not come near the loss levels of the past 2 years. A report issued by the Carbon Majors report from the Carbon Disclosure Project have found that just 100 companies are responsible for more than 70% of global greenhouse gas emissions over the last 30 years. It further found that just 25 of those companies are the source of more than 50% of greenhouse gas emissions for the past 30 years. The most polluting investor-owned companies on that list are, get ready, there won't be any surprises, ExxonMobil, Shell, British Petroleum, and Chevron, while state-backed Saudi Aramco, China's coal industry, and Russia's Gazprom have been the top 3 greenhouse emitters overall. According to the report, if fossil fuels continue to be extracted at the same pace as in the last 30 years, global average temperatures will soar by 4 degrees centigrade by 2100. Climate scientists have repeatedly warned that an increase above 2 degrees centigrade could lead to catastrophic and irreversible damages to the world's weather and ecosystems. Of course, in the United States, the official government position is that climate change is not anything to worry about, which is why the U.S. government has pulled out of the Paris Accord. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.